Hello, everyone. I'm Karen Berman, and I'm the immediate past president of the Society of Biological Psychiatry. I missed being able to see you all at our 2020 meeting in New York City, but I very much look forward to our next in-person meeting. In the meantime, today I have the privilege of introducing to you the winners of the 2020 SOBP Awards. These awards will be conveyed in person at our 2021 meeting in San Diego. For now, please join me in virtually congratulating each of these wonderful colleagues. The SOBP Gold Medal Award is to honor significant and sustained work that advances and extends knowledge in biological psychiatry. This year's awardee is Dr. Suzanne Haber from the University of Rochester.
It is with the greatest of pleasure that I now introduce Dr. Suzanne Haber, a recipient of the Gold Medal Award of the Society of Biological Psychiatry. Without doubt, Dr. Haber is one of the leading neuroscientists worldwide. Her laboratory focuses on the neural network that underlies reward and decision-making, and specifically the development of goal-directed behaviors, habit formation, and good decision-making. Her work has led to significant increases in the contribution that this large-scale network makes to healthy decision-making, and critically, how abnormalities in this network are associated with behavior features of a wide range of psychiatric disorders related to aberrant reward processing and decision-making. Dr. Haber began her career in graduate school studying the effects of low-dose amphetamine on the social behavior of non-human primates, but she subsequently became much more interested in the neural circuits that underlie these behaviors, particularly the corticobasal ganglia system. The present focus of Dr. Haber's work is on the anatomical substrates that mediate the integration of information across distributed networks. And here she has done groundbreaking work demonstrating areas within the prefrontal cortex and basal ganglia structures in which there are specific locations that receive inputs from highly diverse functional regions. And she's also identifying specific cortical areas that travel to and through major white matter bundles to reach their cortical and subcortical targets. Dr. Haber has published a large number of seminal papers in this area of research and is the recipient of numerous funding rewards, including being the director of the Silvio Conti Center from the National Institute of Mental Health. I wish to extend my congratulations to Dr. Haber for receiving this prestigious award.
So it's a great honor to be the recipient of the 2020 Golden Medal Award from SOBP. I'd like to thank, in particular, Mary Phillips, who nominated me, and the nominating committee who ultimately chose me for this very prestigious and honorific award. A lifetime achievement clearly is doesn't belong to one person. It belongs to a whole host of people that help us develop a particular road in science. And in mine in particular, as Mary mentioned, I've been mostly interested in the circuitry that underlies goal-directed and decision-making behaviors. And our particular focus has been on understanding how different networks within the brain integrate across different functional domains, such as limbic, cognitive, and motor. And to this effort, the lab has been involved in a number of different types of studies, but also the individuals that have really pushed this forward. I'd first like to thank my mentors who have been really instrumental in developing my career, and in particular, my discovery and love for anatomy really was started back at Stanford when I was a graduate school student at Jack Marcus's lab, who was very supportive in all of our work. But Stan Watson in that lab was really the one who turned me on to anatomy in the first place. So a little shout out to Stan, who's really been a mentor for me for many, many years. And then as I continued my career at both Bob Eldy's lab and at Wally Nauda's lab, I got my formal anatomy training. And so those two individuals were really instrumental in how I think about the brain. I wanted to mention a few individuals in the lab that have really pushed forward these ideas of both integrative mechanisms in the brain or integrative circuits, and as well as our more recent efforts to try to translate the precision of anatomy that we do to understand circuits in the human brain. So with respect to the integrative elements of the brain and the circuits that are underlying goal-directed behaviors and decision-making. As a graduate student, I want to mention Nick McFarlane, who's now at the University of Florida as a neurologist, and he played a critical role in helping us all think through how these circuits are integrated through the basal ganglia, both through the substantia nigra striatal connection, as well as through the cortical thalamic basal ganglia connections. I'd also like to mention several people, including Roberta Calzavara, Bruno Averbach, Mariah Jacobson, who all were very instrumental in thinking about how cortical striatal connections are interactive in their terminal fields. Our more recent work has begun to focus on how do we transition to understanding networks in the human. And for that, I certainly couldn't have done that alone. I know almost, or knew almost nothing about imaging methods or techniques. And so trying to think about how white matter pathways are organized in the human. The Oxford group, Saad Jahabi and Tim Behrens, the Martinez group, particularly Anastasia Yandecki, were really critical in helping us use monkey anatomy to forge ahead to see how pathways within the human brain are organized. And then finally, in the realm of functional MRI, three postdocs, Sarah Hellebrunner, Wei Tang, and Unyang Chao, who are no longer in the lab. They've all moved on to their own careers, along with Haixin Liu at University Medical School in South Carolina, have really been very instrumental in trying to think about how we might transition between anatomy and functional MRI. So taken together, this has been a real effort by a number of different individuals, both in my lab and in collaborative labs, that have really moved the field forward, I feel, in terms of understanding circuitry in the human brain. And finally, I want to thank the members of our Conti group, which I've collaborated with for many, many years now. That includes Steve Rasmussen, Ben Greenberg, Randy Buckner, Greg Quirk, Mary Phillips, all of who, Haixin Ling, all of who have really made instrumental discoveries on their own, of course, and collectively, I think we've moved the field forward for obsessive compulsive disorder. So again, I want to thank everyone who's been involved in all of these efforts, and in particular, I want to again thank Mary for nominating me for this award, and I'm very honored and happy to accept it. Thank you.